Paco was still frantic, still circling the corral in his terror, so he paid me little attention as I caught Chica and led her out to the gate and closed it behind me. Only then did he seem to realise what was happening and came running over to us. "I'll be back, Paco," I told him. "I'll be back, I promise." I mounted up and rode away. The last I saw of him, he was looking over the gate after us, tossing his head, pawing the ground, and then we were gone into the woods and out of his sight. For some time I heard him calling for us, his plaintive bellowing echoing around the hills. Below us, the smoke drifted along. It drifted down the valley as if a sudden new mist had come down. Chica seemed to understand the urgency, for she retraced her steps at speed the whole way down, stumbling often. Where the path was at its narrowest and most treacherous, I dismounted and ran on ahead, leading her, but running or riding, my head was filled with the gnawing dread of what I might find. I longed to be there to see Maria and father and mother again, and yet I was reluctant to arrive in case my worst fears proved true. From time to time, I was seized by fits of uncontrollable sobbing, but by the time we reached the outskirts of the farm, I felt strangely calm, as if I had no more tears left to cry. Perhaps because I had had so long to think about it, the sight of my home in ruins, in flames, came as no shock to me. The pigs snuffed about the yard as they always did. The goats grazed busily, scarcely stopping to look up at me as I passed. I stood in the yard and watched my house burn, the flames licking out of the windows. There was a terrible anger in those flames. I could hear it in all their roaring, crackling, spitting. I did not call for father or mother or Maria, for I knew they must all be dead. No one could have survived that inferno. How long I stood there, I do not know, but I did not cry until I saw the dogs. I found them lying dead near the water trough. I sat down beside them and wept till I thought my heart would burst. In time, the flames had nothing more to burn, and they died down. Only the walls remained, charred and smouldering. I turned away with Chica following me and made my way along the road into Sauceda. The village was unrecognisable. Hardly a house had survived. But I heard people, voices I knew, and then I saw them, faces I knew. My cousins, Vittorio, stood in the street with blood on his face. He was wailing, calling for his mother. There was so much wailing. Some were wandering about in a daze, mumbling to themselves. Others just sat there, staring into space, tears running down their cheeks. I recognised some of the soldiers from the cafe. Several of them were filling buckets at the well and running across the street to the house that was still burning. Only then, as I watched, did it occur to me there could be a chance that Mother and Father and Maria might still be alive. I began to ask after them. Vittorio didn't even seem to know me. He just stared at me and kept saying over and over again, "My mama, where is my mama?" I asked everyone I saw, but no one had seen my family and no one could help me. Then, as my thoughts gathered themselves, I wondered if I might have given them up too quickly. I should have searched for them back at home. They could have got out alive, others had. So I rode home as fast as Chica would carry me, scouring the fields around me as I went. As I came into the farmyard, I called out, but only the goats answered me. I looked in every barn, in every shed. I rode over the fields calling for them, till my throat was raw, and I knew it was hopeless to go on. I was sitting on the steps to the barn, my head in my hands, when I heard voices. I stood up. Soldiers, hundreds of them, were moving up the valley towards the farm, towards the village. Not our soldiers, but other soldiers in different uniforms. If I ran for it, I would be seen before I reached the trees. The barn was my only chance. I darted inside and looked for somewhere to hide, anywhere. The voices were coming closer. I climbed the ladder to the hayloft, buried myself deep in the hay and curled up and just laid there still. They were outside in the yard now and laughing. I heard Chica whinnying and go galloping off. They were firing. Whether at Chica or not, I didn't know. I curled myself up tighter and gritted my teeth to stop myself crying out. I heard heavy footsteps in the barn below me and a soldier's voice. Let's burn the place down. Later, came the reply. We've got more important work in Sauceda. Come on, Sauceda, let's go. I lay where I was until I was quite sure it was safe. When at last I ventured out from under the hay, I found the whole farm deserted. Chica, except for Chica, who was grazing contentedly with the pigs.